Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. परमो च प्रभु सत्यम नित्यत्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तामहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओं शांति शांति शांति. Good morning. Vande Mataram. Namaste. Welcome all of you. The topic of this spiritual discussion for now will be a very interesting topic, that is, the caption is, for joy this earth was made. The real sentence, it is a part of the sentence from Savitri. The real sentence is, yet for joy, not for sorrow, this earth was made. It is a beautiful line. It is lined by Sri Aurobindo, very interesting line. Yet for joy, not for sorrow, this earth was made. There is no place for sorrow. Only for joy, this earth was made. Entire earth was made. One sentence we can receive, of course, we can remember. Sri Aurobindo has quoted in Savitri, God's bliss and oneness are our inborn right. God's oneness and bliss are our inborn right. But condition is that the soul shall justify its checkered work. So it has to be justified. As the son fulfills the conditions of the minimum caring conditions for the parents, and then he will be eligible. Of course, he is eligible. But thing is that his entire property, entire name and fame, everything belongs to the father, belongs to the son. Definitely, it has to prove it, and if once proved, once justified, the son is the original owner instead of getting the virtual owner. So we are here to discuss this. Sri Aurobindo has quoted, a hidden Ananda is at the root of things. A hidden Ananda is at the root of things. At the root, at the everything's root, there is Ananda, but it is written, it is there in the position of a hidden position. It is hidden position. A hidden Ananda is at the root of things. And previous sentence we have also know, God's oneness and bliss are our inborn right. For two things only we are struggling, we keep doing the sadhana. From the time immemorial, from the time eternal, we keep doing the sadhana for these two purposes. One is oneness, oneness with the divine, and second is bliss, where no sorrow will be there, no agony, no tears, no death, nothing will be there, no disease. So only pleasure, only immortality, only the truth, everything is there. So there is no chance, no place for this darkness, for this ignorance, nothing else. Now we are quoting Sri Aurobindo as from, it is the topic of discussion will be entirely from Savitri, of course. Sri Aurobindo quotes here, in spite of all death and evil circumstance, the sentence has been begun from the very interesting term, in spite of all death and evil circumstance, a will to love persists, a joy to be. A will entirely, it is packed with death and evil circumstance. In spite of all, instead of all, a will to love persists, a joy to be. There is a joy in all things midst the sense. There is a joy in all things, all that midst the sense. A joy in all experience of the soul. Soul here, it has taken birth, it has come down, it has descended or manifested. So there is a purpose is to take experience and then develop and grow and develop. So a joy in all experience of the soul, a joy in evil and a joy in good. Between the duality, the contrariety, again at the root of the contrariety, behind a joy that exists. A joy, what is there? Joy in sin and a joy in virtue. Everywhere it is there, it exists. A joy in all experience of the soul, a joy in evil and a joy in good, a joy in sin and a joy in virtue. Whatever you see, the contrariety, virtue and the sin, There is actually another thing is that we have taken, there is a joy on evil and the good, experience of the soul, at the root of things, at the will to be, everywhere we find there is a joy and a true joy is there. So we will get why it is written that not for sorrow and yet for joy and not for sorrow this earth was made. Sri Aurobindo again quotes, "Yet is it joy to live and to create." Very interesting thing. It is it joy to live and to create, and a joy to live and labor, though all fails. Though all fails, Sri Aurobindo knows. Sri Aurobindo has visualized, he knows the root cause of this failure. Though all fails, joy to live and labor, it is there, and a joy to seek, though all finds, though all we find deceives. Entire, if there is entirely deception, if we feel we are deceived, everything has deceived us, still there is a joy to seek, though we all we find deceives, and all on which we learn betrays our soul. After deceives, initially failure, then Sri Aurobindo used the term deceives, find all we find deceives. Then again Sri Aurobindo uses the betrays our trust of on all, and all on which we learn betrays our trust. Yet something in its depths was worth the pain. Yet something was in its depths, not on the outward or superficial in the external aspect, and yet something in its depths was worth the pain. A passionate memory haunts with ecstasy fire. After Joyce Sri Aurobindo uses the word ecstasy. A passionate memory haunts with ecstasy fire. Even then, Sri Aurobindo very interestingly quotes to justify this sentence. Even grief has joy hidden beneath its roots. Already, initially, I have quoted a term. There is a hidden ananda behind the root of things. Here also, equivalently, Sri Aurobindo again uses. Even grief has joy. Even grief has joy hidden beneath its roots. Where there is no joy, there is grief. If the absence of joy creates the grief. So, when we talk of the grief, behind that grief, there is the presence of joy. So, there is even grief has joy hidden beneath its roots. For nothing is truly vain, the one has made. The one. The Supreme has created of everything. There is a meaning in his curve and life. So, a blind God is not destiny's architect. A conscious power has drawn the plan of life. So, behind all curve and line, all failure and upheavals, everything behind all joy and all sorrow, there is a meaning. So, nothing is truly vain, the one has made. In our defeated hearts, God's strength survives. In our defeated hearts, again and again our hearts get defeated. And in this defeated hearts, God's strength survives. And the victory, after defeat, the victory star still lights our desperate road. Victory's light still lights. Victory's star still lights our desperate road. When we see nothing but the drift and the bell. When there is only failure. When there is only the distortion and only desperation, then also there is the presence of the God. His light, His presence, everything is clearly visible. It lights, it guides, it moves us, and it step by step it carries to our destiny in a upward way. Sri Aurobindo then quotes finally, "Our death is made a passage to new worlds." There is also another death we fear. Men fear death as the children fear going into the darkness. Like this, we have fear for the death. Nobody wants to die, but still there is a truth. It is the truth for us. We have taken it for granted for the time being. And we, of course, we know a time will come when there will be death of ignorance, end of death and the death of ignorance. So we are the sons of immortality. We shall be conscious of our immortality. So when we will cross the bondage of this death, we must be in a position to achieve our immortality. But here for the for the time being, for now, our death is made a passage to new worlds. Then Mother quotes to Lord of Death, "O death, this is the mystery of thy reign. O death, this is the mystery of thy reign. A darkness occupied the fields of God." Entire the field was created by the God. Of course, definitely, A darkness occupied the fields of God, and the matter's world was governed by thy shape. Matter's world was governed by thy shape. Thy dreadful, thy awful shape has reigned, governed this matter's world. Thy mask has covered the eternal face. The face of the eternal, it has been covered by thy mask. The awful, the terrible mask, it has covered the eternal space. The bliss that made the world has fallen asleep. It in this world was not created by Big Bang theory or so and so many things. Many theories we develop, but here in the course, the bliss that made the world has fallen asleep. Entire the bliss which made the world has fallen asleep. This bliss is there at the root of the things. Abandoned in the vast she slumbered on, and evil transmutation overtook. After this fallen asleep, abandoned, and in the past she has slumbered on. There is this asleep, this slumber is there. And evil transmutation overtook her members till she knew herself no more. Before knowing herself, everything is has been carried out, everything hijacked, everything has been masked, everything has been governed by this awful, dreadful shape, by the formidable ignorance, this death. Again, here in the course, this is the mystery of his reign for which we are suffering. This world is actually downtrodden. It is the globe is fallen, and the race is struggling, but there is no visible aid from outside. So mother has got. Mother again comes and reminds. He strives here, and actually there is a fight, big war between love and death. But now the primal innocence is lost. Again, here in the mother speaks of. But now the primal innocence is lost, and death and ignorance govern the mortal field. This primal innocence, everything was normal, everything was smooth, all was packed with joy, delight, epiphany. So this primal innocence is lost, and death and ignorance govern the mortal world. Entire mortal world is governed by death and ignorance. And nature's visage wears a grayer hue. Nature's visage, that color, now original, very attractive color is gone. It wears a grayer hue. Earth still has kept her early charm and grace, in spite of everything, in spite of all odds, in spite of this attack, in spite of this masking. Still, Earth has kept her early charm and grace. The grandeur and the beauty still are hers. It is there. It is not changed. There is a hope, because it is simply a resting position, a sleeping position. And once this cover is uncovered, once this is taken away, once this is thrown out, so this charm, this early charm, beauty, and this wonder will come out. This is the position it is still kept observed. Then Sri Aurobindo again quotes mother in the voice of the mother quotes here. But veiled is the divine inhabitant. Everything is there. Who will do it? How shall we know? Who will be the guide? So who is there to show us light? Sri Aurobindo mother quotes here. But veiled is the divine inhabitant. The divine inhabitant, he is veiled here, is actually inside us. The souls of man have wandered from the light. For the time being, till now, the souls of man have wandered from the light, and the great mother turns away her face. This is the scenario for this presence of the death and ignorance, for this avidya, ajnana and all. So this great mother turned away her face. The divine inhabitant is veiled. The souls of man wandered from the light. The eyes of the creatrix breeze are closed. Sleeping, slumber. So here it is written again, it is closed. And the sorrow's touch has founded in her dreams, because she can't wake and find herself, and can't build again the perfect shapes. This is the position. She is sleeping, almost in a asleep condition. This is the position here. Oblivious of her nature and her state, forgetting her instinct of felicity, forgetting to create a world of joy. So this is the already just forgotten. It is not abandoned or thrown away. She weeps and makes her creatures' eyes to weep, testing with sorrow's edge her children's best. This is the position, and we have come to change the life into life divine.